Iceland. Welcome to RVK Greipain's Newscast. I'm back. My name is Valur Grettisson. I'm of course the editor-in-chief at RVK Greipain. And this is my chief of morale officer, Pollý, which is, well, you all been missing her. We know this. But here she is. She got her rest, but still not. She's not loving the heat, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. This has been the longest time, I guess. I mean, I've been in a vacation for around 4 weeks, which is actually a pretty, that's basically how it goes in Icelandic culture. We go on vacation for 4 weeks, especially if you have kids, because everything closes in July in Iceland. It's an odd thing, and perhaps something that we need to reconsider at some point. It's kind of it's not all good, but this I've missed a lot. But John Pearson has been doing a great work, doing everything for me basically, and I've seen that you've been very appreciating and nice to him also. But before we start on with all of this, because we have a lot of news, I want to tell you one thing first. Of course, when I left you the last time, I told you about this walking tours with me and Bjartmar, and of course Pollý, where we just show you the city. We tell you a little bit what makes Icelanders tick and so on. And we are actually going to keep on doing this. We do this now 3 times a week because it's, first of all, just fun and it's easy to do for us. And we can talk a lot, and we can actually take Pollý out and give her some action. As you perhaps can see, she's now in the ocean. She just always goes straight into the ocean. Also because there is kind of a heat wave in Iceland. Doesn't show, but it's like global warming is it's bad for the world, but it's pretty okay for Icelanders actually. Also, remember our online shop and our homepage greipain.is, and of course if you like it and just love it, I don't know, then just like and subscribe the video, of course. But on to the news itself. So we're here at a beautiful beach in Álftanes. You don't really need to remember this name, of course, but it's a very nice town next to Hafnarfjörður, and it's the town where the president of Iceland lives. It's a very nice town actually, and has this fantastic beach, by the way. And I love to go to this beach because it's both like black, like you can see here, and it's also a sandy one. And when there is like no, when there is like the low tide, I guess, then you have like this peninsula here, and I want to show you this peninsula, which is brilliant. But let's go into the news. We have really odd COVID problems. I have to say, this is the weirdest situation Icelanders have been in when it comes to COVID, and COVID have, of course, been really weird from the beginning. Perhaps the oddest thing is that 93% of every Icelander older than 16 have been vaccinated. It's a huge number, meaning that we kind of like in the beginning of July, before I left you, we kind of believed that this was over. So the government actually announced that we would have no domestic restrictions at all. It was a little bit like George Bush. We have won the war kind of moment. Everybody's been making kind of fun of this and actually saying like doing memes with that on Twitter and such. But this, of course, was not the case. Oh, it's really slippery here. What's up, Dart? The thing is that, of course, and as we knew, when you're vaccinated, you can still get the disease and you can transmit it, like the virus. But the thing is that we started noticing that a lot of people were getting this new strain called the Delta virus, Delta COVID or whatever the official name for that is. And we basically, everybody got it in a very short amount of time. How it came to Iceland, we're not quite sure, perhaps with some American tourists or just other tourists, but we do know that it spread around because Icelanders went to the UK. There was this Euro Cup in football, and we went. A group of Icelanders went there. They came back and they gave us like 50 versions of this Delta virus, or something. I mean, don't take me literally here. So, but the thing is that this has been now like we're up to 427.9 per 100,000 when it comes to the infection rate. This is the highest we've ever been. The highest before that was 291. And then we had, there are a lot of people that actually died in the wave. But right now, nobody has died. A lot of people have symptoms. Most of them have very mild symptoms. But some people are actually sick because they are not vaccinated. 7% of the nation is not vaccinated, means that thousands of people still have to get the shot. We're not sure exactly why, but I can promise you it's not because people are against vaccination. Icelanders are very, very pro-vaccination, but there are, of course, like a couple of hundred people that, of course, are against it. But the other thousands of people perhaps just didn't get the SMS. They didn't like, they were like in another country and whatnot. So we have to get these people, we have to vaccinate them. Also, we're going to vaccinate our children. Like we are worried about the children from 12 to 15 because this Delta strain is actually quite harsh on children. Meaning that our child doctors, sorry, like a little bit hard to say, like pediatrists, something like that. But the thing is that doctors in Iceland have said that there are almost no like complications that goes with this with children, if you vaccinate the children. So we're going to use 2 days in the end of August to vaccinate all the kids older than 12, meaning that we will have vaccinated almost the whole nation, but not the one that are younger than 12. And the reason that we are not doing that is because we don't really need to. They are very good, like they don't get that sick from this, and they have never gotten that sick from COVID. It's just how it is. As the statistic, you can of course say that in your conspiracy world it's different, but the math is very clear on this. So the math is also very clear about what to do, like when it comes to this. We have vaccinated ourselves. Icelanders are very, very positive to that they will basically be able to live just a regular life. And we really don't care if people are getting just a little bit sick from COVID. But of course, if people are dying from COVID, the situation will be very, very different. But nobody's dying yet. And yet is actually what matters here. Because right now we have restrictions, of course, on the borders. They're not very harsh, to be honest. But we also have like gathering restrictions up to 200 people. That's it. Basically because the government are just waiting and just they want the data to see what happens. Because we haven't really seen what happens, but it doesn't seem like this is any more serious than an influenza or whatever. That's of course not the right way to describe it. It's of course much more serious than that. But as long as people that are vaccinated are fine, we are fine. The real problem, of course, is that a lot of other countries have not vaccinated, meaning that we are not going to do very good as long as the world is not vaccinated. We have seen that there are problems, of course, in the US, a lot of countries in Europe, everything from France to other countries. So if you're not vaccinating the whole world, then I mean, we will have to have restrictions, and people will occasionally perhaps die from this, even if they are vaccinated, which is of course really bad. So, yeah, all in all, we have vaccinated 255,000 people. That's like, it's fun just to think about it. We are 360,000, but 255,000 are everybody 16 and older. Also, the hospital, that's kind of the what's in play here. The hospital in Iceland, they say that this is getting serious and they can't really function anymore, mostly because everybody is on vacation, like I was. So people are now vacationing, resting after a really hard year, and this is just our right, I guess, meaning that the hospital is having a tough time. But they are saying, like the director of the hospital, that the hospital should be able to deal with this. But if this gets any worse, because we have already, what was it? We had 18 people at the hospital right now, and 2 of them are actually in critical, what do you call it, like in critical care, and they are like having respiratory aid, or I'm not sure how you would say that in English, but you probably understand where I'm going with this. So if this will get a little bit worse, then of course we have to have a tougher restrictions, but not yet. It's like the government is still waiting, and part of that is basically elections. We have elections in 1.5 months, and Icelanders, they don't, like, at least the politicians, they don't want restrictions. They want the victory moment when it comes to this. So they are kind of like, they really don't want to change this again. There is like, give the people freedom and then take it away in the lockdown and then go to the elections. And then the opposite will say like, hey, look at how they miserably failed doing this. And but I mean, if they say like nobody died, then they're fine. But if someone will die, this could turn out to be a political nightmare. So, also, enough of COVID, right? I want to show you the volcano. It's over there. I'm not sure if I can actually show you this, but it's over there. You can see Keilir is the big mountain there. On the right side of that, you can see Little Ram, Big Ram, and somewhere around there should be the volcano. The volcano actually has some news, because they think that there is a new crater opening up. Let us swim. Art's not going to be happy about that. He's going to go wet into his car. We really should take my car for this. So, there could be a new crater coming up, but scientists say they are not quite sure. It's harder now to get close to the mountain, of course, but we'll show you all of this on Wednesday, hopefully. If not Thursday. Could be either way. It's kind of like, it's a little bit more delicate situation just to go there and just to get the right, like, because sometimes the right footage basically, because sometimes just the volcano just shuts down and then it just starts again, like all of a sudden. Also, there has been like a lot of extreme weathers all around, at least Europe, around the world actually. Right now there are huge fires in Greece, also Turkey. Earlier this summer there was, of course, in Canada. There are also huge forest fires in California and the US. And we have had floods in mid-Europe, and we've had like just incredibly crazy weather. But in Iceland, that's a different kind of story. We, of course, are a very cold country. When we have extreme weather, our heat numbers go from like 10 to 12 degrees up to right now it's like 17 degrees, sorry, like 17. In the east of Iceland, we have 25 degrees, and we have had that again and again and again this whole summer, meaning that these are heat numbers that we see perhaps once a summer, not every day, meaning that the extremity of the weather in Iceland is basically a slightly warmer weather. But we are of course not this lucky, not for the future. We have also very concerning news about the Gulf Stream, and the Gulf Stream of course go, well, not through these oceans I think, but they go more or less here somewhere around us, and as more you get like fresh water into it, the more slower it could be. If it stops, we could have a serious problem. I wouldn't say ice age like this, but we could have, a cooler atmosphere. So even messing up our ocean, meaning that our fish would perhaps go somewhere else. This have happened in Iceland actually before. There was like a mackerel, I'm not even sure what it's called in English. There was a fish that came from the Faroe Island oceans to Iceland, and we got millions out of it, or billions. But the same thing could happen to us if the ocean if it gets warmer or colder. Fish could go further away and away from Iceland, meaning that we would lose it. So I hope that makes sense, but I hadn't really structured that sentence in my head before. Anyways, so we have a heat wave in Iceland. It's odd, it's nice, it's been perhaps as you can see on my face, I got a lot of tan right now. And it's not because I'm always bathing in the sun. I'm not actually much of a fan of the sun. I try to be more in the shades, not as a character, more just literally in the shades. So that's how it is. This is Reykjavík, of course. You can see here the Hallgrímskirkja, the church tower there. And this is absolutely, I love this beach. It's so weird to be here. You can see just how the moment, if you're unlucky, I mean we won't be on the guard here. This could flood over in, wouldn't say minutes, but in an hour or so, and then we would be stuck here and we would have to swim back. So so it's a pretty nice and fun place to be at. So this is it for my first newscast after my vacation. I hope you like it. Hope everybody's fine actually. You're of course all around the world, and many of you are of course in America and, for example, in California. And it's it's been a odd weather in many places, and so I hope everybody's safe and sound. And if you're coming to Iceland, please stop by with us and just take a tour with me, or buy something from a shop, or whatever. And am I forgetting anything? Art, picnic? No? You're good? Okay. Then I'm gonna take this wet dog into your car. I'm gonna drive back home. Kastamera, aftur úti? Já.